Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Janiya, and this is...
I'm Celena Mills. I'm your state CTE director.
So just to start us off, we do have a few questions. We will be reading off this note card. So the first question I want to ask, what do you think becoming a CTE program could add to our NAF program at CMA?
Oh, the NAF program is already amazing. So let me say that first. But there is such a great alignment between what NAF does and what state-approved CTE requires that you're already so close. The downside of not being state-approved is that you don't have access to some things. So there's extra funding when you're state-approved, so that would help you with program equipment, resources that you need. There's statewide articulation agreements, so you'd have access to college credits that are already set up and designed for you, so less work for your instructor or your administrator, and then you can easily access those. And then probably the other thing is those Michigan Merit Flexibility credits. So in a statewide CTE program, you can get high school credit for things like the fourth year of math, or you can waive the third year of science in a state-approved CTE program. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility to be in your program for longer.
Okay. Excellent.
Okay, why is CTE important to the future?
Everything we do is related to career and tech ed, right? So it's important to the future because you don't know what you don't know. So if you wouldn't have had this experience, how do you know what you want to do in the future, right? You only know the jobs that you see. So CTE is really important because it allows you to actually try those things out. So you might enter a program and go, oh my gosh, this is not for me. But now you know, and you didn't spend money on it. You know, at college, you didn't waste extra time. And it looks like you two really know that you love this. So now you know kind of what you want to do and you have a direction to head. So it gets you further faster. And then it allows you to get things like credentials. It allows you to get those post-secondary credits. And I've already been hearing you get lots of experience networking and you get work-based learning experiences. So you have those things and sometimes other students don't. So again, you have what we call competitive advantage. You're getting it, sooner than everyone else. So
follow-up question is, do you feel like it is as talked about as much as it should be?
No, I think we should talk about it more, but I'm biased, right? So I think sometimes, though, we talk about what we want as an outcome and we talk about the outcomes of CTE, but folks don't understand that it's CTE that they're talking about. So if we can make it more widely known and we can talk about the benefits more, then we can help grow those programs more.
Okay. Are you at all worried about the proposed cuts the government has discussed?
Actually, no. And I'll tell you why. There's a few reasons. So first, career and technical education is what we call bipartisan, which means doesn't matter what party you belong to, folks believe in it and support it. So that's really good because it doesn't matter then who's in government or really exactly what they propose because they still stand behind CTE. So that's really good. The other reason that I'm not worried is because it's legislated. So we have federal funds that come from the Carl D. Perkins Act, and those are written into legislation. So we know that the federal government has to spend some funds on CTE, and that will probably flow down to our state. Exactly what that looks like every year, we don't know, but we know that we get those. And then finally, the biggest reason that I'm not worried is because our state really supports CTE. So I'm not sure that you follow along at all, but our legislators and our governor actually proposed more money for CTE so we can grow more programs. So regardless of what might happen at the federal level, our state is behind us and believes in it, so that's a really great thing.
Okay. That was our last question. We are open to answering questions, especially me. I am open to answering questions from anybody. So thank you again for answering our questions.
So I want to ask, how did you discover that this was for you?
So it was junior year we started trying to get everything together in the first place. Because this is my second year doing digital media, but we didn't have the media to do it. So junior year, we were all trying to start off with what we had, and I realized that it was pretty fun being behind the camera. It's pretty fun setting up the soundboard, and then this year I realized that it's pretty fun being in front of everything and asking questions or answering questions. So that's how I decided I pretty much love this.
And good for you, because now you've seen multiple things. So you understand the other positions. And so then when you sit in front of the camera, you know better like what to do because you know what they're all experiencing.
Yeah.
So now will you do this in the future? This is like where you're headed after graduation?
I think I might. I'm not 100% sure. I really do enjoy doing it, but I feel like I might, if I do go down this pathway, I might be more behind the camera instead of in front of it.
Okay. Well, you've explored, so now you have an idea. So what about you?
Well, I started this my 9th grade year. I was like when it was like,
Go. Just show.
It was like the beginning of it. It was like we didn't have like the little podcast and the skits and stuff that we made, but it was like just like a regular little digital media class where we making stuff for a line, and it was really fun. I really liked it. I was really sad when he left because he was one of my favorite teachers. I know, poor Mr. Real.
That's why she was there.
And then when it came back with Mr. Conwell, which he became one of my favorite teachers my 10th grade year, I was just like, I really liked it, the class. I was like, why not just do it again? And when we got to doing podcasts and red carpets, I was just like, y'all, we got to do this for real.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Now, how much of your day is this?
It depends.
Yeah.
We sometimes go to him and be like, hey, can we go to the studio room? And he's just like, sure.
Yeah, like,
So it really depends. And sometimes we can be in here for hours. We be in here for a few minutes. But it really, really depends.
It doesn't feel like school, right? Like not the traditional school.
It's freeing. It's really freeing to be able to talk about what we want to talk about. Sometimes we don't even turn on the camera, and sometimes we just record audio. And it's like we're just having normal conversations that we save. Or sometimes like we just record entire podcasts, like unscheduled, without any direction, and it's pretty fun.
and it don't be about not one thing. We just be in here talking, like,
Yeah.
the topic changes every time.
It's all over the place.
But it's really fun.
And you're learning some amazing communication skills that, happen kind of inadvertently, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, can I ask our other two, even though you have a microphone?
They're gonna sit there all quiet.
So how'd you get interested in sound? It sounds like you do this, like this is your thing, right?
Yeah, so my junior year, my friend David, he was going to sound, and I was like, that looks fun. He was like, yeah, it is fun. I'd teach you. And so he taught me. I was like, this is very interesting. And then that made me want to do it more. And then I started developing it too.
Okay. So will you do this after high school, do you think, or go into something related to that?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Tell her about your experience with red carpet where you were running the sound with people and microphones you didn't even see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at the red carpet premiere, I was doing the audio and people were using microphones. I couldn't even see them, and I would just make sure everything was okay. At first, like, things were starting to get very choppy and staticky, but I was making sure it was all fine there. And I was very taught.
And what about you?
Oh.
You don't often get to come over.
Sorry,
I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, be careful, that one's a doozy.
No, let him sit down.
Be funny.
Here, I'll share my mic.
Second. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, now, I'm sorry, what was the question?
So how did you get interested in this? And do you do camera work all the time? Do you do a little sound? Are you still exploring?
Well, really it was recommended to me kind of from other people in this class. So I would see like my friends in this situation and I got a little curious. So I asked them about it. And when I figured it out, I asked if I could be involved too. And I was really primarily on minor things because I was new to it. And I've mostly been on the camera because that's what I don't do most. I've only been on sound once because I don't really know it all too well. So I'm still learning that. And, you know, That is about it. You asked one more bit at the end. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do you think you want to do this in the future? Or are you still exploring?
Yeah, I think I would like to do part of this in my future. Yeah, I do think that I would enjoy this as a potential hobby or maybe even career in some way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's me. So thank you.
You can't just walk on camera now. You gotta sit there. Super ratings. Okay. What you look like in order doing this, Mike?
So I heard you have some regular podcast days. Is that right? And is there a theme? What do you podcast about?
Well, sometimes, yes, there is a theme. Cause we every week we have to have some type of project that we're doing. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a skit, TikTok, honestly anything.
The TikToks.
And the other day is literally just us coming down here just to talk. It don't have to be about anything. It could be about Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, food,
Oh my goodness.
school, anything, and we just come down here and talk.
So when you have your topic, do you have to? Because I always wonder when you watch those podcasters, do they script out? Do you script out what you're thinking so that you kind of know what you're going to ask of each other, what direction, or do you just have a topic in mind and then you?
It really depends on the topic. Sometimes if it's like about school life, we tend to just go with the flow. But if it's something, for example, more complex, we might write down some questions and then go about it that way. Sometimes we just go around asking each other questions and then it drifts off into just like a regular conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, can I shift gears and ask you something else that I'm curious to ask you? So, I know that you have internships and interactions with employers. What is that like? How do you know where you go? Who sets it up? What do you, how long are they? What do you do when you're there?
I can answer that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty great. I'm in the program called DES right now, Detroit Experience Studio. And that's when so maybe 3 other schools come here to CMA, and in the media center, we are getting ready to pitch an idea to a company. Our pitch day is actually tomorrow, which is pretty exciting.
Right.
And our client right now is Colgate.
Okay.
So I won't go into too much details about it, but it's actually pretty fun because when I was a student, my first time I went to DES, it's advertised you're coming up with an idea and you're brainstorming with maybe 7 other kids on how to make sure that the brief is tied into your idea. And then you pitch your idea. And it's super fun because right after you get paid and then you have a nice little celebration graduation. So it's all very rewarding, and it may seem bad because you're going up there to present and project your voice. But I always think of it like I'm up here with 5 other kids who are just as nervous as me. And it's very rewarding in the end.
And the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah. It was very fun.
So Colgate this time.
Yep.
Well, you're not giving away secrets on camera.
You can tell the EET out here, can't you?
I don't think so, no.
Wait, just yell.
But I can mention that
I'll apologize.
my my team last time for ADT, we created a superhero team
Okay.
based on ADT's protection. For example, we have Lockmaster, Shield Girl, and ADT Men. So it was very fun. So yeah.
So really, you're doing a little bit of creating concept, some marketing, all of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And our pitch day is tomorrow. So I'm
How
super
many
excited.
times do you pitch?
So this will be my second time pitching, but since I'm a peer mentor this time, I can't fully participate besides the fact I'm introducing my group. So you only pitch once.
Okay.
We do practice pitching. Yesterday we practiced pitching and we were recorded pitching. And this time, tomorrow is the real deal. So our client is going to be inside watching us. They're going to be online. We're going to be recorded. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Any other questions? Well, if not, I want to thank everybody for joining. Again, I'm Andrea.
And I'm Janiya.
I'm Ethan.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm Celena.
And I'm Chet Jr.
Every time.
My mammy.
Not the red.